Hello, 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 and a very good warm welcome to Ask the Accountant, episode number 184. The date is the 11th of May, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron Patrick, and we have, at the start of the show, the most important part of the show, in my opinion, which is a shout out to our podcast community. We have accountants and bookkeepers supported by our Patreon community. Speaking of which, we start each and every show with a shout out to our coolest of cool listeners, who are Paul Whitehouse, Kirsty St. John, Mahul, and Peter Richardson, to show your support to our channel and content while also getting some bonus content opportunity to be on this coveted list. Please join our Patreon page via the links below. Johann, you weren't here last week, although to be fair, none of us were. It was an unlive thing. So let us know in the comments how you felt the not being live was. We tend not to do it very often, but sometimes we just can't help it. But you were, the reason we couldn't go live is because during the show itself, you were in the air flying. I know you had you had very little sleep as well, because Miami Grand Prix was thankfully brought forward 2 hours, so that helped for you, didn't it? But go for it. Like, how was your little jaunt to it was Spain one day again?
Yeah, I was over at Marbella for a speaking event. As you do. What a gig!
International talker, Mr. Johann Gorey.
It was a 22-hour day after very little sleep. It was a long old stretch. So I was out in.
Did you?
Pardon?
You didn't fly back the same day.
No, just by the time I actually went to bed, I'd been up and about for 22 hours. I was in Marbella speaking to. I was part of an event that a business coach I work with was running, where 150 people go out on a business retreat. They do sessions and networking, etc. Afternoon on a catamaran going around the Spanish coast, and big beach party one night and stuff. But I was there to network and to answer questions throughout the trip regarding accounting, bookkeeping, financial due diligence and stuff like that. And then I had a speaking session as well, where I was talking about the first 100 days of owning a new business after an acquisition. Really, really good week. Just busy. Like they're like Accountex days. They're just really long days that once you do 4 of them, you're very grateful to get back home. I got home on Friday mid-afternoon and had to crack on because I'm so far behind on everything else. But absolutely fantastic trip. Marbella is just a gorgeous part of the world, and when you pop down to the harbour for steak and chips or something, and there's a £70 million yacht just parked up, and it's like, oh my god, it's a different world out here. I've got some rubber dinghy down the side somewhere.
Call it dignity. yeah. Oh, that's. I mean, what an opportunity, right? Like, you don't get those opportunities very often. So that's.
I went out with them again last year as well. But this year the event was just at a whole different level. Like, some of the speakers I get to meet at this event, like this year there was Gerald Ratner, who had the big jewelry chain that collapsed and he had to pick himself up and start again. And really, really good speaker called Nigel Reisner. He was fantastic. He's one of the funniest, most insightful speakers that I've probably ever come across. If anyone's ever got an opportunity to be in the audience for a session with Nigel Reisner, sit at the back, because he's a comedian to a degree where he is quite abusive to his audience at the front. But the content he delivers is just phenomenal. So that was my kind of week. And then on top of that, I've started vlogging again after 18 months off. So I'm trying to do a daily vlog on YouTube. No editing, no messing about, no intros, no outros, no, just completely raw, one-shot wonder. Just, it's been quite good for me, actually, just to process my thoughts and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, it's a busy week. How was yours?
Yeah. It's just all cracking up at the moment. I'm kind of grateful that this week is Accountex because it means we can think about other things. Like we can turn our brain to other of relevance. Although I don't envy you having to kind of do basically 2 Accountex in a row. That just seems, yeah. Yeah. Thursday, I assume you get no Friday. No, you'll be home Thursday, won't you? I bet that's
yeah. I'm heading home Thursday night.
yeah. So I bet that'll be can't come soon enough for you, I bet. And that's and then chill from there on in, hopefully. We wouldn't be anywhere without our amazing community who comes and joins each and every day. And we have a brand new first person to come in. I don't think Mahul's ever done this before, but Mahul, you were well done. Congratulations. You made it to number 1 in terms of being able to come along and what do you call it there? I'm because I was trying to find the applause button. Well done, there we are. So Mahul comes there. Good morning, everyone from London. I hope everyone had a great sunny weekend. I can tell you one thing, it's definitely not sunny now. It is raining here in Derby.
It wasn't sunny here over the weekend. It was horrible.
Oh, was it? No, we had
no,
in fact it's beautiful.
Overcast. Yeah.
No, it was lovely. It was lovely. Paul Ingram says good morning from sunny Salisbury. Good morning to you too. Sue Green. Wow, is everything all right? This is this counts as you being here on time. I don't think that's ever happened before. What is going on today? So welcome, Sue. Normally when you come in on time, you get to listen to what Johan's done through the day. So hopefully you've enjoyed that bit. You normally miss that bit. So good morning, raining in Tamworth. Yep, it's raining. Next door, I'm next door on. I said raining. Hope to see you in Accountex too. Good morning from cloudy South Yorkshire, says Shower. Good morning to you too. Chris St. John says good morning everyone. Hope it's nice in March. Hope it's nice in May as well. Yeah. Even now it feels almost cheap shot, right? Juliet McKenna says morning all, freezing down south today. Is it freezing? Oh, so basically we're all coming down south and it's freezing. Right. Anyone got a weather report for Accountex itself? Do let us know, because it would be nice that I mean we're doing a Cool Friends episode at the moment in the outside of Account, that nice little bit that you got outside Accountex which overlooking that water. That's where we're planning to do the Cool Friends episode. So fingers crossed it's not raining, otherwise we might be rethinking that idea. Nicola Gardner says good morning. Good morning to you too. Susanna Whelan says good morning to you too. Susanna Bookkeeping, Suzanne Sissy Bookkeeping says morning all from a cloudy Henley on Thames. Good morning to you too. Stephanie Marshall says morning gents. AIM GB Accountant says morning. Good morning to you too. And Karen Waters 6498 says it's sunny in Devon. Good morning to you too, Karen. Right, let's crack on with topics we've got for today. Go for it.
Breaking news though, because I've just done the weather forecast for London.
Right. Just let off the people who's actually watching. We gave one piece of work to do.
I'm here to save everyone's effort. All I'm going to say is umbrellas might be the best swag of the year this year.
No, don't tell me that.
Tuesday's looking okay, but very overcast.
Yeah.
Wednesday and Thursday is just downpour all day.
I'm not staying on site this year for the first year as well. So, yeah.
Umbrellas will be the swag of the year, people.
Oh, that's not what you want. Vikram Damel says, good morning, everyone. Looking forward to Insights from Accountex. Could not attend it this year, but surely next year. Oh, that's a shame. Hopefully you can get through. It's been a lot of people I've heard that not turning up for this one. There's been a lot of people not being able to make it, which, yeah, it's going to be a different, I mean, the numbers will still be there, right? But yeah, it's going to be.
It'll still be the usual numbers of 14,000 accountants and bookkeepers.
Well, you'd expect even more this year with the new finance bit, wouldn't you? That's there as well. So, yeah, but no. Hopefully come to next event, Vikram. Right then, let's go through our topics of today. We're going to park Accountex for a little bit, or a little bit too excited. We'll talk about that later. But Claude's had another integration go live. We talked about it. Was it last week or week before about the QuickBooks Claude integration? I think it was that one. Yeah, because last week was the pre-recorded one, wasn't it? So it was a week before that. Last live one. Well, you've had to play with Xero's Claude integration. How are you finding it, sir?
I have. So I'm very impressed so far. The only downside to it, so it's clearly built for business owners.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is there's no integrating it at a firm level to look at all of your clients. You have to go, right, I want you to look at this license. So we could drop it in and out of different licenses, but then you've potentially got the issue of it referring back to old conversations and muddling up different businesses. So what I would suggest is if you're going to do the switching between different licenses for the connector of Xero licenses, I would suggest that you make the conversations ones that Claude forgets. That way it cannot go, oh, hang on, something's dramatically changed. Your profits have gone down when actually all it's thinking about is this is where you were in the last conversation. This is where you are this conversation. And it's actually two different businesses. So yeah. So we can't do that. But yeah, I really like it. It's got some fantastic features in there. So it's got 7 main tools that it puts in its description. So it can get contacts and receivables, it can get financial positions, cash position, profit and loss, top customer lists by revenue, organization, financial year, who I am. I've put in, I've linked up a demo account and said, right, analyze this Xero license and come back to me with the top 5 things we can do to improve this business's financial positioning. And it went through, right, actually, you need to you need to look at your creditors, and your debtors. You need to do this, you need to do that. So yeah, I think the way, and interestingly, this came up a couple of times last week with business owners asking me what I thought of it and stuff at the event. And the way I've pitched it, and they went, actually, that's genius, is it's a conversation starter. They can ask questions and then they can come to their accountant or bookkeeper to get better insight as to how what it means, and go, right, this is what Claude's saying is my top 5 priorities, and we can either go, actually, we know the bigger picture, this is your top priority, or yeah, Claude's right, and this is probably this is how you do those things, and here's some tools that could help you do those things, like credit control and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm very impressed so far as a first attempt. I think there's going to be we're going to need to do a video between you and I sat there where we come up with 5 scenarios we want to push in and ask Claude. You're connected to QuickBooks, I'm connected to Xero, and we see which one comes out with which one's got better abilities, which one comes out with better outcomes. Because looking at it, I feel like the Xero one is slightly ahead of QuickBooks at this time, because I think Xero's opened up more data points to Claude than QuickBooks has, which doesn't surprise me because that's always been the case. Xero's always had more data points available than QuickBooks, even though QuickBooks keep promising us new data points with new APIs and stuff. I've not seen it. I don't know if you've seen anything yet. If you're allowed to talk about it or not, different matter. But yeah, no, I'm impressed. I think it's great. As I say, it's going to be great for small business owners. If you're an accounting or bookkeeping firm that is overwhelmed by clients saying, I'm really struggling, what should I do? Like, where should I start? And you want them to, it's simple things like, well, actually, if you got on top of your unpaid invoices, that would help your cash flow type thing.
Yeah.
Then maybe it's a good tool to point them in the direction of. Now, remembering they should not use a free Claude license. They should pay for Claude for the security. It was interesting that some people were concerned about security, and it's like, well, actually, Xero has built this connector, so this is meeting Xero's security parameters. So yeah, I think it's the beginning, isn't it? It's the start of the process, and it'll be interesting to see kind of where it goes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fact that both of these, like the Intuit and the Zero One, came out pretty much day and date. Like we're talking like a couple of weeks between, aren't we? Right? That shows that the new pace of change is definitely being learned and everything else. Because again, and it surprised me because the OpenAI one was announced. But again, both Zero and Zero and Intuit have both announced partnerships with OpenAI as well, right? Like I've not made that up. There's a Zero one out there as well, isn't there? As well, the Intuit one I'm 100% confident on, but I thought Zero was in conversations, or maybe
I do think that Claude in the last 6 months has really proven itself to be a more business focused thing. Like I really don't use ChatGPT anymore. I mean, ChatGPT knows I'm cheating on it because I went to ChatGPT and told it to tell me everything it knew about me so I could feed it into Claude. So I've not done it subtly.
It's a public breakup.
And now, like the thing I use ChatGPT for is asking questions I don't want to ask of Claude. So things like home stuff. So the other weekend, I tried slow cooking a beef brisket in my Ninja smoker cooker. Went terribly wrong, absolute disaster. So I asked ChatGPT how I could solve it, and it went, "Oh, why don't you put it into the slow cooker for 8 hours and make a chili out of it?" Fantastic, solved all the problems. But I wouldn't want to ask that of like, so ChatGPT is my home tool, and Claude's my professional tool type thing now. Whereas obviously ChatGPT used to be all and everything, but
it's fallen away. But what I'm trying to get at there is that Claude really is like pushing the right. Let's get these connectors in, especially in our world in terms of QuickBooks and.
Well, the thing is, we'll never know. Did Claude push QuickBooks and Xero to move quickly, or did they go, "We're going to do them all, but actually we're seeing the trend of Claude. We want to be there, and we've already built out MCPs, which is the equivalent of an API, but for AI technology. So actually, we'll plug into Claude first because that's seen as the more serious platform for business."
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, like you said, we'll probably never know. But it's just interesting that there's such a pace of change. And what surprised me most about what you were saying there is there must be a reason, and either it's Claude End or both Intuit and Xero have come to the same conclusion, why they're not allowing us to post anything. Because you've hit the nail on the head. Like from an API and a open point of view, like Xero's already ahead of there. So if it was a limitation that that there wasn't enough connectors, say, in Intuit to stop you from posting transactions, well, that's out the window now because they're not letting you post into Xero as well. And I understand there's probably like a security risk, or there's something that they want to, maybe they want to make it a big song and dance about it later down the line, right? Like version 2 of the connector, you can finally connect and everything else. But until that part comes in, I am struggling to think of the real use cases for it. Yes, conversation topics, I love that idea. Yes, like, a non-accountant, non-bookkeeper getting some financial insight, really, really important. That is, and yeah, open that up and let the world see that, right? Let the world have access to that, because that can help so many people and so many businesses. I think that's absolutely crucial. But until it can actually start adding, manipulating, changing, like looking at that transactional level, that's where I'm just excited for that concept to come out, right? Like, and the way I would see it then is that becomes your integrator tool. Like, I love the idea of using Zapier and all that sort of stuff, but you have to learn all that, and you have to maintain all that, and you have to fix all that and everything else. I'm already doing things where, I can go in and say, "Oh, just check on Engager for me, who's not signed there, whatever, right?" And it can go in there, grab that data, and it can do something with it, right? It can go and send the reminders out. It can like set a task list or whatever it needs to do, right? So we could have it that, oh, if someone signed up for sign their engagement letter, go in there and just prep the recurring invoice for me. I'll go and check it because that's, put the controls in place to make sure and be sensible and all that sort of stuff. But that's where I'm excited about where this could go in the future. But until they'll allow us, or allow those those connectors to actually start creating and adding transactions into those platforms, it's going to be tricky. And there must be a whole raft of security concerns and problems and issues and all sorts why they don't want that to happen, and they don't want it to hallucinate and start going off and ruining people's financial records. But I think once that's in an environment that it could be trusted and safe and everything else, I can't wait for that bit to come through, and that's the bit that I'm excited for. But it is interesting that both Zero and Intuit or Claude, whichever one of that triangles made the decision, have all decided that it's not ready to start posting at this point.
Yeah. I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, I used Chrome's plugin the other day, and it did something in 10 minutes that ChatGPT timed out on constantly.
Yeah.
So I asked it to go into Claude, my note-taking app login, and I asked it to organize the 2,200 something notes based on content of those notes into a folder structure I gave it. Did it in under 10 minutes. Asked ChatGPT to try it about a month ago, and it just gave up after 15, 20 minutes, and I think it managed to move 4 notes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's an incredible tool at the moment.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, and I might as well just bring this one in now because I don't think it was a big topic anyway. But I've been using Lovable a lot. So anyone who doesn't use Lovable, and shout out to Tim, who kind of has been really pushing it. So Tim's making all sorts of apps and stuff using Lovable, and that's what it's designed to do. Lovable's an AI agent that's designed purely just to make apps. Like that's its one and true source of truth, but it does it really, really well. But just to kind of, instead of having to go down to a whole new platform and everything else, there's nothing wrong with you just going into Claude and saying, can you build me this, and just have a play around with that. So examples that we've used for us is like grabbing CSV files off a client's EPOS solution, and dumping it somewhere, or going in, and I know Tim's done a whole solution where it helps automate the invoice generation that he was already having to do for his client, but now it's able to kind of do most of it for him and then kind of go through from there. Like they're the really cool bits that you can do from a practice level and really help your clients and help deliver work. But I'd just say have some fun with it, and that's what I was doing over the weekend. Right, the Ask the Accountant Top Trumps card game. Currently, we stand there with the cards in front of our hand, and you have to guess what that card's going to be, but we have to have that physical card with us. So I just created an app where all the cards we already have are all in this nice little gallery view. You can pick the 5 cards you want to do, or you can press random and it will randomize for you. I can hold up an iPad, an iPhone, whatever in front of me, and we can play that game now with virtual cards, right? Like, and it has a timer on it, and it has the leaderboard built in, and you can skip it to put 1 minute automatically on there. And like, it was just really, really interesting just to build that from scratch, from initial idea of, well, we're already playing the game, but in physical, how do we digitalize that? Okay, cool. Like that's how we kind of like conceptualized it, to revisions and, what if we were to, give an ability to be able to upload and download the leaderboard? What about then if we needed the ability to add new cards later down the line, how easy that's going to be, and all that sort of stuff, right? And honestly, if you guys can try and find just a bit of a passion project to have a play around with, and just to test the waters, right? Really, really recommend it. And Claude itself could do most of what Lovable can do in its entirety, like just to get that grasp of trying it out and everything else. And then you'll decide then if it's worth moving to Lovable. I mean, Lovable's got a free tier anyway, so you could always just kind of play around with it for free, see what it's like, get understand it and everything else. But there is they call it vibe coding, aren't they? That's the phrase that everyone's using at the moment. But there's definitely something about just having a play around, like get that creative juices flowing, just seeing what it's like and everything else. I highly, highly recommend it. And and going from there. And have you ever used the coding side of Claude at all, or any of them?
No, but what I do need to try and get into probably over the weekend is Claude Design. So
when did that go live?
A couple of weeks ago now, but so like part of my issue last Monday with my lack of sleep was I woke up at 2:00 in the morning with a business idea.
Yeah.
And by 5:30 in the morning, I was in the airport lounge pushing live a web page for it. Thanks to Claude helping me to thrash out my ideas and my pricing and create copy and stuff. But that page doesn't look great. And like my Roots to Growth website, that needs a bit of a revamp. And again, I think Claude Design is going to be able to do a really good job based on what I'm seeing from YouTube videos. So I need to have a play with that at the moment. But yeah, coding and all of that kind of stuff, it's I leave that to developers team. Yeah, I'm sure there's some amazing stuff. I will get to that eventually, I imagine. But for now, I'm still getting a huge amount of value out of all the other tools and trying to keep up with those.
Yeah, the design stuff does really excite me because I think, and that was that's why I thought Canva was going to be such a, like, it was sold to me as such a revolution in terms of, so I spoke about it a couple of weeks back, but I watched the Canva 2.0 presentation sort of thing. And fairness to Canva, they know how to put a presentation on it. It's really slick, really good. Like, it makes you go, oh, okay, right, that's what that's useful for. But they really put an emphasis on the Canva 2.0 AI. And I was sold on it just from a presentation point of view. But then when I started to play with it, it didn't really do what it needed to do. And my assumption, or what my expectation was based on that that presentation, was what Canva should be able to do is you throw an idea at it and it will basically mock it up for you, but all editable. So instead of me having to go back and say, well, rework this and do that, using up AI credits and AI and everything else, right? I could just grab what it's already done and make those tweaks myself, because Canva's so intuitive in terms of moving this here, moving that there, moving this and everything else. So it doesn't make like just a static image. It makes a fully editable version of you. And that concept works really well for me. And then for me, it was like, well, that's certainly going to be my tool of choice for, creating posts for social media, or for doing YouTube things or whatever. Like, throw the idea at it first, let it generate a mock-up, and then I can go to town on how I wanted it and move this around or make that wording different or whatever I need to do. I could edit it to my heart's content, but I'm not editing a blank canvas. I'm editing something that I could then mold into my tone and everything else, right? But in reality, that doesn't work, because in reality, it can't create anything that you would be happy for it to go out in the first place. So it doesn't matter how much you mold it. But from what I've seen of Claude, like, it's really good at kind of like getting that concept, but then you weren't able to edit it properly or anything else. And I assume, like, is it as good as they say it, or is it is the writing on the tin, on the front of the tin, that you can just edit how you want now? Is that exactly how it works?
That's the implication I'm getting, but I need to play with it myself to work it out.
Okay.
But so like last Monday morning, I wanted like this timeline of starting negotiating for a deal to ending a deal, and the services that we offer in between. And adding on to that timeline this new service that we were going to spin off. Couldn't get Claude to master it whatsoever. Put it into ChatGPT, no problems at all, first time round. But could I get ChatGPT to do it in our colours and with our logo on? Even told it to go to the website to get our logo, couldn't do it. Took the timeline graphic from ChatGPT, put it into Claude, told it to take that and put our imagery on it and our colours, nailed it first time round. It's like, you just need to work out, like with staff members, which one's good for what, and work out your workflow.
But in theory, that should have been a Canva prompt.
I wouldn't go in there near Canva.
Yeah, but in theory,
Canva couldn't even turn a coloured logo white for me the other week. Like, Jesus, God help us. If you can't do that,
the right tool for the right job, right? In theory, Canva should have won that
Yep.
hands down, right? Like that, there should be no. That you shouldn't even be thinking about another tool at this point. You should be going, well, obviously I'm going to use Canva. Yeah, it'll probably get me a better result than the others. But B, it's fully editable and I can play my heart's content. Like, I must give a shout for Gemini for stuff like that. Like Gemini is absolutely brilliant for that and does give some editing options afterwards. Great from Catherine as well. Hello, pain in the arse over here. Yep. No, I'm joking. Insert mindful AI usage caveat here. Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the difficult, isn't it? Because at the moment I'm having so much fun doing things like this, and I'm testing and pushing and everything else. But maybe I got it completely wrong in the state, but my idea is if I can nail the use cases for X, Y, Z, then my whole team then can, instead of them having to trial it all out individually, I can feed it back to them and tell them what's good and what's bad. It's hopefully this platform can help us do that as well. But yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I completely agree with Catherine about mindful usage of AI, but like I know the stuff I'm doing is pretty much all for work and business purposes. It's not gimmicky. Whereas, like, did everyone see the trend on Instagram last night where people were uploading their pictures into Claude or ChatGPT or something to get a BAFTA red carpet picture of themselves and then sharing that? It's like, what's that actually? Is that really helping your personal brand or your social media, or is that wasteful use of AI?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah,
in some circumstances, it's worked really well, hasn't it? Because we've praised it before in terms of it's that gateway into it, isn't it? Like they saw the capability of it, but I think we're past that now, right? Everyone knows that ChatGPT exists. Everyone knows that Claude exists. Well, maybe less so with Claude, in fairness. I was speaking to someone. I was at an event the other day, in-person networking event, and everyone was talking about ChatGPT. I was like, yeah, but have you not tried doing it in Claude as well? And everyone looked at me. I was like, I said this this new word. Surely you know what Claude is, but no, apparently it's not as well known. But I do feel like that, those chances to kind of get the brand recognition is kind of not needed anymore. Like I feel like we're past that now. But to my original point though, the thing maybe I'm being naive here, but I'm thinking that if I can do the playing, the testing, the trial and errors, the trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, I'm hopeful then that at least just telling my team, like, ignore XYZ, don't bother using it for this anymore. This is when you're going to use it, and this is when it's going to be. And I'm like leading that approach. I'm hoping that overall that's a net gain, right? Because if everyone went off and had to do trial and error and everyone went off to try and figure it out, we'll be in a worse position. So that's how I'm seeing it. Naive maybe, but that's kind of what I'm hopeful is like going to be the kind of net result of it going forward. But yeah, highly shout out to Lovable and people like that. Go for it.
No, that was it.
Oh, cool. Right, let's move on to. Is it an apology corner? Do we have to roll? Shall I? You know what? I'll take one.
No, it's not an apology corner.
No. I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to say Aaron's correction corner, and it's not.
Are we talking about the same thing here?
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about the MTD and.
This isn't a correction corner. This is us reaching out to our contacts that are in the know and getting insight, because we were kind of curious a few weeks ago, mainly around episode 181, 180, about why Free Agent has managed to get so far ahead with this API when other softwares are saying, oh, this isn't available, that's why we've not built it, blah, blah, blah. And one of our contacts came back to us and gave us a load of insight as to what was available and what wasn't available and how long it's been available for. And basically, he's backed up my assumption of the other softwares just haven't prioritized it. So, yeah. Do you want to go through the points that he made? Insight corner.
I really shouldn't play with stuff.
Yeah, don't do things while we're live.
They completely mess that up. Yeah. No, I think it was interesting. So Are we going to say who it was? Have we? It's fine. Yeah. So Stu over at Free Agent, like Johan was saying there, we made assumptions that there's a reason why we're not seeing the end result of, and we've got to be careful of our terminology here because it's now not a tax return; it's an end of year submission. No, it's not. I'm getting it wrong now. What's it called now? It's not a tax return. It's a final declaration. Yeah, that is going to take a long time to get ingrained. A long time. Yeah. So we were talking, weren't we, about the final declaration being something that if we're going to make a buying decision, we need to see these final declarations.
And this is potentially actually a Aaron correction corner because you were making assumptions like, oh, it's probably because of CIS isn't on there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you were completely wrong. I was just making the assumptions that certain softwares had not prioritized the build or seen the importance to the buying journey that you and I see of wanting to see the whole journey. And as per usual, I was right.
All right, back on Aaron's correction corner then. At least that's ready to rock and roll. Yeah, like I'm still kind of frustrated about it because for me it was, why are we not seeing the end of year, the end of year part of it, the final declaration elements? Like why are we not seeing that to make the buying decision? And also, I'm still of the impression that that's where the excitement is. Like, and from all the good that MTD is, so let's forget about the criticism of MTD. Let's look at the net positive, right? The net positive of MTD is that, in theory, we should have a whole new way of doing these tax returns or end of year submissions, whatever you want to call them, final declarations, whatever the term's going to be. But we should have a whole new platform to do this on, with all these new innovations coming in and everything else, right? This was a chance for every vendor out there to go, right, hold my beer. This is how you should be doing tax returns, because we've always done them this way since day one. And, there's various iterations of how tax returns have been done, but they're quite stagnant. And a lot of them are kind of doing the same idea, right? It's a checklist and a fancy UI to be able to populate a tax return, is if we boil it down to it, right? Whereas MTD was this opportunity to go, oh, here's a whole new platform or a whole new reason to do a tax return or a final declaration, whatever you want to call it. And here's a new approach to doing it. And my assumption was the reason we haven't seen any new innovation and new anything else and these new final declarations because it wasn't available to be done. But do you want to say what we've actually learned? Because
so it turns out all of this has been available for quite a while. So HMRC have a public-facing MTD roadmap that dates back to December 2023.
Yep.
In the last 12 months, nothing really new has been added other than a small version bumps on existing public endpoints. There are one or two new bits, but nothing major at all. In other words, I interpret that as the ability to build into the MTD final, what was the wording we just used?
Final declaration.
Final declaration has been available for developers since 2023.
And clearly not been tested because there's not been any revisions properly. Like, I know we're going to talk about this. There has been some exceptions to this, and there are some outliers who are testing it and are going through, but there's clearly not been enough robust testing in there, because that's the only reason that HMRC would bother to make any updates to it, right? Or they nailed it in the first take and it's the best it's ever going to be. I mean, which one would you weigh that's going to be based on what we've seen?
I think it's going to need some evolution, but it's working though, because I know 57 a couple of weeks ago it was 57 final declarations have been filed through a free agent, so it's working. Fact 2, there are still a few things HMRC need to build, but those aren't income sources. They're things like sending notes and attachments with submissions and showing penalty points. So there's nothing stopping the final declaration being sent. You can't do a final declaration because you're CIS registered or anything. The HMRC software selection tool shows the source of truth. The way this works is that every time you have built and tested a single API, capital gains, foreign dividends, UK interest, whatever. You tell HMRC and they change the status to ready now. For example, certain well-known providers have none of these available in ready now for final decoration. And that's because none of them have been building their final decoration tool. Then he's named a few, like, we won't go into who's done what and when.
Yeah.
The 25-26 year for beta testing was restrictive at first, but open to almost all by the end. And Free Agent have had a few CIS subbies file, and quite a broad range of businesses have gone through further than anyone else, and have actually show all payments and deduction statements info inside the MTD area, which is now available on the MTD APIs. Basically, it's all there. The reason that others haven't built, or have built some but not all, is because it's not been their priority.
And it's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? Because what you've just said there are quite a few of the pain points that we already have in our tax return journey.
I'm going to compound that not a priority bit further, right?
Mm.
Xero and QuickBooks. Like, we know Sage have been on this, right? So I'm not going to make any digs at them.
Yeah.
Xero and QuickBooks have got how many bloody engineers across the world? And they've not even prioritized it for a few of their engineers to work on.
Yeah.
Free Agent have got 6 engineers and 1 product manager and 1 designer across all their products, tax products. And they've dealt with it because they've made it a priority.
And shown the benefit. And that's the bit that I'm so confused about, because the benefits are there to be done. Like, there's almost been a monopoly, hasn't there, on tax return software. We would go to, name whatever tax return software you were doing. That's where you do your tax return. It was almost ridiculous, the idea of us doing it in anything else. Like, what? Of course we want to use XYZ to do our tax returns, because safe pair of hands. We can systemize it. Doesn't matter what platform that we're getting the data from. All of that good benefits that come with it, right? Like, that was the North Star, right? MTD comes along and they go, and I know I'm a broken record, I keep saying this, but there is a world out there where we, as firm owners or managers of our clients, or whatever role we've got, we're going to have to make a decision at some point between our clients of, all right, they're not mandated for MTD, but because they're CIS, why wouldn't we put them into MTD? Because it's going to be a more accurate return, because it's bringing the CIS in. There's all these features they're going to get from being MTD thing. Like we're going to have that moral dilemma. Do we push clients into MTD early because their final declaration is going to be so much better and so much easier? Like, you've all had clients where you almost, like, there's almost like a fear when it comes to doing their final tax return, because you're like, well, what if they haven't told me everything? Like, have I got all the CIS information? Have I, you can do all the checks in the world, right? But if that figure, whatever that CIS figure, doesn't agree with HMRC, they ain't getting their refund anytime soon, right? You got to go through a whole rigmarole to do that. If there was a way for us to pull that CIS in, and we could go, well, that's what I was expecting, that's what I've got. Okay, let's fix that now if it's not the same. And if it is the same, job done. Like, that's a much better experience for everyone, right? Like, that's what we've been dreaming of as accountants and bookkeepers, to have that ability to pull that information directly from HMRC. And the fact that MTD seems to have been building that for us, a Free Agent are showing that it is there is an opportunity for us to grab that data in and have a much better experience. Then suddenly my whole concept of where I'm going to be filing my tax returns going forward has to be like a priority to get some of them into MTD, because it's going to be a better experience. And the fact that this was that opportunity for everyone to start thinking of new ways of doing things, of, better ways to grab data from your client. They've all got their apps on the phone, so you could have like the questionnaires built directly in the Xero, QuickBooks, whatever it's going to be, right? Like, that's what I was expecting the innovation to be, because this is their chance to take some of that work away from our, North Star that it was always been, which was, your tax return software area. Like, really, the tax return software people should be quaking their boots at this point. But I bet they're sat there going, I mean, you probably can't say, but you probably know more than most of people, and they're just probably going, well, they've squandered that opportunity, right? Like that was the biggest opportunity to lose market share that's ever happened, and it feels like we've just ignored it and done it, and it's only ones like Free Agent who have even taken it seriously, and I think that's the frustration here, where we had a chance to wow us, to impress us, to get us all on board, and all they're really doing is showing us, well, there's a quarterly update.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at it from we look at this from a tax calc or Iris or KPM point of view, MTD it was technically a real threat, because MTD it gave Free Agent Zero, QuickBooks, who didn't have tax filing options really, an ability to get into that market space really easily. And apart from Free Agent, the others haven't done it.
Yeah.
Like Sage already had a tax filing solution. Zero has had one in the last year or two. Like, but this was QuickBooks' big play, wasn't it? It could have been. Like, could have been QuickBooks' play to get the income tax market.
Yeah. And I get it, right? Like, and I think they're all going to do fine. That they'll all have a fine solution, but this was their chance to do a wow solution, right? Like they had all of the opportunity to show us the bit that, again, from a buying decision, will make me decide. Like, if one of these came out with this like super like fancy way of doing that we've never thought of before, of collecting the data or whatever it's going to be, of course I was going to go down that route, because that's what the industry needs, right? MTD has been touted as big, like, problem, big issue, big everything else. Like, give us solutions to fix that. Like, maybe the quarterly submissions are going to be difficult to like fully automate or fully like thing about, maybe, right? Maybe that's you can go as far as you can on there, but if you can fix that end of year submission for us, or final declaration, or whatever we call it, right? Like, if you can fix that bit for us, then we're happy to take the pain in the quarterly, because we've got a better experience there, right? And no one's really gone for that other than Free Agent, really, and Sage as well, in fairness to them. But I feel like their solution, theirs is more aimed at like the Sage practices, and the Sage practices are going to absolutely like love their update, right? Just quickly on the community, here's a thought I had in a few years: will mortgage advisors and lenders be asking for copies of MTD and submission instead of copies of accounts? There's
First of all, I can't remember the last time I was asked for a copy of accounts for a sole trader. I'm only ever asked for SA 302s
and the current year, what you call it, right? What I would hope for is that there's no need for the end of year, current year, whatever it's called, right? Because in theory, mortgage advisors should just be able to get an MTD submission, and it should already have the IR mark to prove that it's been submitted, etc., right? Like that should be, we should have a more robust.
I don't think they'll look at quarterly either. I think they'll just look at the final declaration still.
Potentially, yeah. Or if they do need to like get a more up-to-date update, maybe they can rely now on quarterly, because that's always been a bit of a problem, right? Like, they've had to wait on end of year, and it could be X amount. Now there is a chance, but it'd be good though if they could, if the mortgage like lenders could wake up to the fact that we now have quarterly submissions, which should have a bit more robustness about them, and hopefully that's something they can start using. Sound like someone else is struggling with April refund clients. Exactly. Yeah. Like, we want to make that a better scenario for everyone, right? I'm personally in MTD testing QuickBooks and filed my final quarter and VAT and tax return on the system last week. It worked really well, and it picked up a small PAYE thing in my tax return I usually manually enter. Amazing. Yeah, and Karen, I know the system's there and it's kind of working. You kind of kick the tires, but it's not like, it's not wow in it. Unless you've you can tell me differently. But when I was playing around with it, it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, yep, that's what I was expecting. It was almost like they were ticking the boxes to say that, to keep me happy, basically, right? Like to make sure that it wasn't like problematic, but actually there was a chance for it to do much more than that. And let us know what you think is there and want to test and trial it. Yeah, exactly, Karen, exactly. And yeah, and I think it's fine. And I think that's the problem. If these end of year submissions, final declaration, whatever, fine isn't enough at this point. I think we had a chance to do more than fine, didn't we? I think that's where it kind of falls down on. Right, we're running quickly out of time, so let's talk about the one and only Accountex. What's Accountex 2026 looking like for you, Jan?
Busy. Thankfully, not busy in the fact that I've got multiple speaking slots across each day. Thankfully, that'd be I did a marathon of speaking slots. Was it last year or the year before, where I was literally back to back? I had like 7 different speaking slots.
Yeah,
over 2 days. It was hideous.
You had
Didn't get to enjoy the event.
surgically put in.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again. So I believe my whole 2 days is going to primarily be based in the tax calc engager stand. I've got 2 speaking slots there, one in the morning, one in the afternoon on both days, rinse and repeat. I've got an event Tuesday night. I've got an event Wednesday night. And then home Thursday night. So it's going to be a few long days, sore feet. But yeah, I'm really excited because this also marks a year since the announcement of Engager joining TaxCalc. So it's a bit of a celebratory anniversary for us. We've come so far in that year with our integration and stuff like that. It's been phenomenal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just spending 2 days on the TaxCalc Engager stand, talking basically to people there. So yeah, it's going to be it's always one of my favorite. It is my favorite accounting event of the year, by far. What about yourself? What have you got lined up?
So ours or mine is all about Ask the Accountant this time, which is great. We've got our stand again. You'll be coming on the grid walk with us at the beginning. We've got them both days, haven't we? Really looking forward to this one, mainly because I've got so many like bits of like my DMs on LinkedIn are just like, oh, we'll catch up about this, catch up about it.
Yeah.
In reality, none of that's going to happen. It's just going to be like I'll be on the stand all day, talking to some amazing guests we got lined up for our podcast pit stops. And if I'm lucky, I get to do like a walk around the show floor a couple of times. Like that's I'm okay with that. I'm kind of thinking that one. But I'm just looking forward to. I think this is one where there's quite a few different things are happening, quite a few different announcements, what we've been told to look out for. So I think that's going to be exciting. I feel like we've kind of learned from our grid walks as well, where there's a few. We've reached out to more people this time so that we can go right. Like, look, expect us to turn up and get ready to talk about whatever you want to talk, because there's some announcements they want to make and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I feel like it's going to be a really exciting one. I can't believe we're already here. Like when you've said that it was a year ago since the thing, that is actually scary to think about when you put it into that context, that it was only a year ago that we
I've got a podcast interview. You're interviewing me and Andy North, aren't you? Like 1 year on since the engagement type podcast, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. And again, that's scary to think that a year ago was that big wow. Like this is where it's going. So yeah, no, I'm scared that it's come, like we're already here. Like that doesn't make any sense to me, that like I'm jumping in the car tomorrow and we're going down there. We've got some new tech on the stand this year as well, where we're hoping to be able to get the Pit Stop podcast out quicker and easier and simpler than ever before. There's a lot of automation that's going to be brought in for the first time that I'm really excited about. And tell you what, based on the comments and stuff we've had from the Top Trump game, I think we need to get as many Top Trump game people done as possible, right? I think there's going to be a lot of There's some when I release the leaderboard, there's some egos there that want to try and fix it and try and fix it. In fact, yours is out of date. I think we should redo yours because I feel like when we did ours, there was only like.
Can we have a rule?
10 cards.
Like, we can film a redo, but we only count it and publish it if we do better, not worse.
Yeah. Depends how much you bribe me. Go from there. Paul says most are SA 302s, but just last week had one asked for accounts and full tax return. Yeah, it depends on the mortgage lender, doesn't it? At the moment, they're all. Yeah, I've seen some horror stories with requirements these days and questions being asked and everything else. And yeah, it's and try and go down commercial mortgage is even worse, right? Like Jesus, that's become an absolute. I think we should be charging like £6 billion just to produce, just get them over the line these days. Headed up tomorrow evening for both days. Oh, lovely. Hopefully staying close by. Mahul says, looking forward to seeing you all at Accountants. Looking forward to seeing you too. Any after party plans? That's a great final topic to finish on. It's hotting up, isn't it? The after party scene.
There's a lot going on
this year. We've got the party by Journey and those guys, and there's all sorts on the boat. So they've got the boat, the Sunborn, which I'm sure you're thrilled about as you're staying on the Sunborn.
Yeah. I'm not overly thrilled about this idea of this big party in the hotel that I'm staying at, but
especially when it gets too out of hand and they start like moving the boat.
Yeah.
Sailing it off down the Thames. Oi. It gets out of hand. So you've got that there.
Who's got the Fox this year?
Intuit QuickBooks have the Fox.
Okay.
We finally won it, which is a bittersweet for me because it's like that was Nick Williams's like one thing. He was desperate to get the Fox, desperate to be that one, and they finally done it, and he's not there to reap it.
Stephanie's just said, isn't it the Euler bar? I think it is the Euler bar now. I think the final party's moved to Euler bar. I don't know where the Euler bar is.
Yeah, it's at Van der Ven, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you guys have got, what's your place called? The inside the Excel, and just up the top. I can't remember what it's called, but you guys have got, or Adfin, and you guys have got that one.
Yeah, Adfin's got a after party that I'm going along to on Wednesday night. See, Steph's got all the inside stuff here. Steph says Adfin tax calc engager is the pizza bus. So yeah, so Intuit's got the Fox. Yeah, there's just going to be absolutely tons going on. You won't. I think basically keep your ear to the floor, work out what sounds more like you. Like I can't think of anything worse than the Fox. Like that is, it's a sign I'm getting like too old. Like I went to this beach party on Thursday night. I was back in my hotel room by 9. Like, I couldn't have a conversation. The noise was too loud. It's like, oh no, like it was no. I'm just too old for all of this stuff now. Just leave me to it. But hopefully the pizza party will be a bit more civilized and have proper conversations, because you can't have a conversation in the Fox.
Sorry, what?
Exactly.
I've still got titiness from it. Is it titiness, whatever it's called, from the last one?
That's from 2023. That bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We did joke on the Accountant Network to go, well, let's try and do a review, an after party review, and we thought, well, we'll send different network members to each of them, and we'll then like report back the next day. But nah, yeah, not gonna happen. Oh yeah, the Accountant web, yeah, and the only thing about the Accountant's website is they're the only ones that are the official after parties, which you've got to be a bit careful because there are unofficial Accountant parties as well that you've got to go like, oh, okay, right, there's that ones as well. So, which is a bit naughty, isn't it? But yeah, that's the way.
Zero's doing zero breakfasts each morning to get you started.
I mean, yeah. Did they steal that off? Was that the Sage thing that used to do this?
No, Go Proposal used to do breakfast.
That was it. Yeah. And they always come and taken that one. So yeah, I wonder where they're going to have their breakfast done as their breakfast from there, because I don't.
You wouldn't know, would you? You're not invited to things like that.
Well, no, exactly right. We'll be too busy doing the grid walks anyway, so we'll be thinking from there. Have they always done breakfast though? Because it was always a Go Proposal, like that was always like the breakfast before Accountex, wasn't it?
And there's you and I wouldn't know because we're too busy. We're too busy filming at that time in the morning. Sat outside at 6:30 in the morning going, when are you opening? What do you mean I open till 8?
Yeah. That's it was all over. The final bit as well, there's the run as well, isn't there, in the morning?
Yeah.
So yeah, we can see.
Good luck to the weirdos.
Steph says as well, there's the runs. Yeah. I know Phil Hobden was tempted to put on a camera for us and get us some insights into there, but
no,
I was going to run with them, but I thought it's not fair on them. You know what I mean? Like I'll be up in their pace. Like it's just, you know what I mean? Like they want to go at their pace. Like, it's not fair that me coming along and sprinting it the whole way there and the whole way back. It's just I just thought I'd leave them to it. You know what I mean? So.
Yes.
Honest. That's the reason I'm not going. All right, then, people. That is it. That is the whole of Ask the Accountant in the weekly live show for today. Thank you very much. Obviously, come and say hi to us during the Accountex thing. Come and see us on our stands. I'll be at the Ask the Accountant stand all day. Johann will be probably chained to his stand at Tatscalc, and every now and then be allowed to go off. go and see it.
Day 2 late in the afternoon is normally when I get released.
Yeah, exactly. So looking forward to it. Hopefully we get to see lots of people there, really get to see and say hi to everyone. Come and play a few card games with us from Top Trumps Card Game, see where you are on that coveted list. And yeah, we'll see you all for a debrief on Accountex this time next week. So it's a bye from me.
And a goodbye from me.
Bye.